Do you ever ponder why certain individuals in our lives only make an appearance when they need something from us? They often seem indifferent in their taking, rarely reciprocating. The world isn't as ideal as we might think. People frequently don masks of sophistication to subtly secure personal gains. Regardless of your kindness or generosity, there will always be those who exploit your good nature. Some of these actions are blatant, while others are more insidious, leaving you oblivious to the fact that you're being used. Today, we're going to delve into 10 behaviors indicative of someone who uses you without concern for your well-being. It's important to clarify that our discussion isn't about passing judgment or condemnation, but rather to better comprehend human nature and how to approach these scenarios with strength and poise. We'll learn how to identify these individuals, establish firm boundaries, and foster resilience amidst life's challenges. Before we start, I encourage you to watch this entire video attentively, as the information presented is crucial and will have a significant impact on you. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's proceed to the first behavior immediately. Number 1, the persistent lack of respect. In the intricate dynamics of a relationship, disrespect isn't just an occasional occurrence but a consistent pattern of behavior that manifests as cold and indifferent. A genuine friend or loyal partner always upholds respect, demonstrating consideration and shared responsibility. However, those who exploit you tend to ignore these fundamental limits. Upon examination, their behavior reveals selfishness and disregard. They may unjustly criticize you, belittle your efforts, or even mock or humiliate you in public. Consider scenarios where your plans are frequently disrupted, or others habitually arrive late, expecting you to adjust to their needs and preferences. Such actions suggest that they don't value you. The most detrimental aspect of this disrespect is its significant effect on your self-esteem and confidence. You might start questioning your capabilities and worth, leading to feelings of hopelessness, loss of direction, and possibly depression. Nevertheless, it's crucial to recognize that everyone has flaws. The distinction lies in the persistence of these actions and the lack of intent to change. Life is a continuous journey of trying to gain acceptance, often facing rejection and neglect. The key is to realize that you deserve respect and kindness, and should not settle for anything less. Your life is akin to navigating a ship, where you are the captain. Embrace your worth and regain confidence from this realization. Number 2, failure to fulfill promises. Promises are powerful tools for committing to and maintaining healthy relationships, yet they are also fragile and can be easily broken. Individuals who exploit you often resort to making false promises, habitually placing someone or something else above you. Picture your relationship as a theatrical play where words are the lead actors and actions are mere forgotten scripts. Those who frequently break promises excel in this daily drama, whether they are colleagues, friends, or even family members. They may appear supportive, vowing to stand by you in every situation. However, the reality often differs starkly. They might promise to assist you with a project, support you in challenging times, or simply offer their company for conversation and sharing. Crucially, when it's time for action and fulfilling these promises, their commitment often wanes. Like poorly performing actors, the promises they made tend to vanish, leaving you feeling let down and betrayed. Consequently, the act of breaking promises serves as a crucial litmus test. It separates those who view relationships as a reciprocal exchange of respect and support from those who see them merely as opportunities for personal gain. For those who have been let down, these experiences, albeit painful, can impart valuable lessons. Not all promises are founded on honesty and integrity. In such situations, it's vital to learn to recognize and establish boundaries in our relationships. This not only prevents us from being exploited but also fosters self-esteem and autonomy within these relationships. At times, it's essential to refuse or keep your distance from those who wish to use you without offering anything in return. Identifying and avoiding unhealthy relationships early on not only protects us but also frees up our time and energy for more rewarding and meaningful connections. Remember, your value doesn't hinge on what others receive from you, but rather on your self-knowledge and the actions you take for your own well-being and growth. Number 3, constant competition. We're all familiar with chess, where each move is meticulously planned not just to better one's own position, but to strategically weaken the opponent. In a similar vein, there are individuals in our lives who treat relationships like a tactical game, often driven by ulterior motives. In such interactions, feelings of being undervalued and unacknowledged are common. These people tend to be overly competitive, not just in situations that warrant it, but even in everyday interactions, causing discomfort and tension. They often disregard or undermine your opinions, frequently interrupting or belittling your contributions. This perpetual rivalry manifests in various aspects of personal and professional relationships. In personal interactions, these individuals might elevate themselves while diminishing you, even over minor accomplishments. When you succeed, instead of sharing in your happiness, they may react with jealousy or attempt to downplay your achievements. In a professional setting, they might resort to making excuses, distorting facts, or outright lying to sustain their upper hand. This behavior not only breaks down trust but also fosters a stressful and hostile environment. Their constant need to prove themselves as superior, more intelligent, or more successful is evident even in casual conversations. This conduct often stems from deep-seated insecurities and a skewed perception of self-worth, gauging their value by outperforming others rather than through their own merits. Such dynamics turn every interaction into a contest where they must emerge victorious, and you, consequently, must lose. This mindset hinders collaborative growth, focusing instead on appearing superior. Relationships like these lack the essential elements of support and encouragement, filled instead with detrimental competitiveness that adversely affects your morale and well-being. They create an atmosphere of persistent tension, replacing genuine cooperation and support with rivalry. Your accomplishments aren't celebrated but seen as a threat to their dominance, and your challenges aren't met with sympathy but exploited for the gain. Recognizing and understanding this pattern is crucial. It enables us to set boundaries and, if possible, reshape the relationship into a healthier dynamic. Part of this process involves acknowledging that the core of every relationship should be founded on mutual respect and support, not an unending struggle for dominance. Number 4. Lack of detailed personal interest in social relationships. A significant red flag in social relationships is the absence of detailed personal interest. This not only signals indifference but also a lack of respect and emotional connection. When someone fails to engage with the finer aspects of your life, it often suggests they view the relationship as a tool for their benefit rather than as a reciprocal bond. You might notice they forget particulars you've shared, like your hobbies, aspirations, or fears. They might also overlook significant dates for you, such as birthdays or anniversaries, leaving you feeling ignored and undervalued. This lack of interest also manifests in their responses to your emotions. They might downplay or dismiss your concerns and sadness, treating them as trivial or bothersome. This can lead to feelings of isolation within the relationship and foster an environment where expressing yourself doesn't feel safe. An example is having a friend who focuses solely on their own affairs and never inquires about your life, feelings, or aspirations. In such dynamics, you are relegated to a passive role in their narrative, with no real investment in you. This indifference is a stark indicator that your worth to them is based more on what you can offer than on who you are as a person. In these situations, it's crucial to contemplate whether the relationship is worth your emotional and temporal investment. Care and interest need not be grandiose but are often reflected in small acts like attentive listening, remembering, and valuing the other person's feelings. The absence of these gestures may signal a need to reassess the significance of this relationship in your life. The lack of personal interest in a relationship is an alarm bell, urging us to reevaluate our connections and seek environments where we are genuinely appreciated and respected. If you've engaged with this discussion thus far, it shows a genuine commitment to personal growth. Number 5. Superficial bonding and its implications. In relationships where one party exploits the other without caring for them, a common occurrence is superficial bonding. This phenomenon is particularly insidious as it masks the relationship's true nature. Those who use you typically shy away from establishing a profound and meaningful connection, often engaging in interactions that barely scratch the surface. This type of relationship can manifest in various forms. It could be a friend who shows little interest in your true feelings, a colleague who reaches out only when they need assistance, or even in familial or romantic relationships where one person is focused solely on what they can gain, disregarding the other's emotions and needs. In such dynamics, there's a noticeable lack of authentic attachment and concern for the other person's feelings or well-being. Individuals who exploit others view them as tools to accomplish their objectives, unconcerned about the repercussions or how their actions impact you. They might display friendliness or concern when it suits them, but this demeanor is typically fleeting and insincere. One of the significant challenges in these relationships is their detrimental effect on the mental health and self-esteem of the exploited individual. Constantly feeling unvalued or uncared for can lead to self-doubt and a sense of helplessness. Addressing such relationships demands bravery and self-awareness. It's crucial to acknowledge your own worth and importance, establishing firm boundaries. You should ask yourself whether you are investing in a meaningful relationship and if you are compromising your self-esteem for a superficial connection. Remember, you deserve authentic and dependable relationships. Identifying the hallmarks of a superficial relationship is the initial step towards safeguarding your mental and emotional well-being. It also presents an opportunity to seek out more fulfilling relationships that offer true reciprocity and depth. Number 6. Emotional manipulation. A defining trait of someone who uses you without concern is their subtle ability to manipulate emotions. These individuals often exploit your emotions to further their personal agenda. This manipulation is evident in how they orchestrate scenarios that leave you feeling confused, guilty, or ashamed. They skillfully employ words and actions to elicit emotional responses from you, making it easier to sway or influence your decisions. The tactics of emotional manipulation are varied and intricate. For instance, they might shower you with excessive praise to create a sense of indebtedness, later leveraging this to demand unreasonable favors. Another strategy is the isolate and conquer approach, where they aim to weaken your connections with others, leaving you isolated and more vulnerable to their influence. The impact of emotional manipulation extends beyond eroded trust and diminished self-esteem. It also undermines your confidence in judging others' character. You may find yourself ensnared in a toxic relationship, deceived and manipulated to the extent that the reality of the situation becomes obscured. In relationships marred by psychological manipulation, the balance of power is skewed in favor of the manipulator. They control the display of affection and its withdrawal, destabilizing you. Essentially, emotional manipulation is not about mutual growth or support. It is a one-sided pursuit where the manipulator prioritizes their needs, disregarding the psychological health of the other person. To identify psychological manipulation, a keen awareness is essential to recognize patterns of interaction that consistently toy with your emotions. This involves self-reflection to understand the impact of these interactions on your mood and well-being. Number 7. Making you feel guilty. In imbalanced relationships where you feel used and uncared for, the frequent induction of guilt is a common manipulation technique. The person employing this tactic adeptly exploits your sense of responsibility, empathy, or fairness. They may often voice complaints or express disappointment regarding your actions or inactions, exerting emotional and psychological pressure. Accusations of not being good enough or failing to meet their expectations are common, leading you to believe that you can never truly satisfy them. This method of instilling guilt is often subtle yet perilous. They might manipulate specific situations to induce guilt, such as highlighting times when you required their assistance and portraying it as a burden. Phrases like, "After all I've done for you, is this how you repay me?" are used to make you feel indebted and compel compliance with the demands. Additionally, they might manipulate you into feeling guilty about matters unrelated to them, like personal choices or relationships with others, isolating you and diminishing your ability to seek external support or advice. This strategy is effective because it targets a fundamental human trait, the inclination to view oneself as kind, helpful, and considerate. By inducing guilt, these qualities are twisted into mechanisms of control, leading you to act out of obligation rather than desire, often resulting in feelings of resentment or fatigue. Crucially, this behavior not only fosters a toxic psychological environment but can also inflict deep and lasting damage on your mental health. It can erode your confidence, leaving you perpetually uncertain and insecure, and adversely impact your capacity to forge and sustain healthy future relationships. Recognizing when guilt is being used as a tool of manipulation is vital for safeguarding your emotional and mental well-being. Confronting and addressing this manipulative behavior is key to establishing relationships founded on respect, genuine care, and free choice, rather than those bound by obligation and guilt. Number 8. Lack of genuine support. The eighth indicator in our personal relationships is the absence of genuine support. In such dynamics, there's often a palpable sense of indifference and a lack of commitment from the other party. They might be around when they need something from you, but when you require their support, they become absent or indifferent, only appearing when it suits their interests. In these relationships, your goals, projects, and challenges are often met with apathy or token gestures of support. Any support that is offered tends to be superficial, lacking sincerity and depth. This not only creates a rift in the relationship but also leaves you feeling underappreciated and undervalued. A true friend or partner is there for you consistently, not just when it's convenient for them. However, in such cases, you may often find yourself feeling isolated, particularly during challenging times. The lack of authentic support can lead to feelings of loneliness and helplessness, making you realize you can't depend on the genuine concern. This can have numerous negative impacts on your mood and mental health, potentially leading to self-doubt, feelings of unworthiness, and a harmful cycle of low self-esteem and distrust in relationships. The root of this lack of support is their self-centered focus. They view the relationship as a transaction, weighing emotional involvement against personal gain. This results in an imbalance, with one side continuously giving and the other just receiving, often leaving you feeling neglected and insignificant. Recognizing this lack of genuine support is essential to understanding the true nature of your relationship with that individual. It involves a candid evaluation of the reciprocity in your interactions. Identifying and addressing this absence of support is a vital step in ensuring you invest your time and energy in nurturing and genuinely supportive relationships. Number 9. Willingness to choose. In the intricate web of human relationships, a crucial warning sign to watch for is a person's readiness to choose. This issue becomes evident when someone is readily available when they need your help, but becomes distant and unreachable when you are the one in need. Consider this scenario: you frequently find yourself aiding others, whether it's by offering emotional support, performing small tasks, or dedicating your time and attention. However, when you find yourself vulnerable and seeking assistance, these same individuals often remain unresponsive. They might ignore your messages, fail to return calls, or, at best, sidestep any discussion of your needs. This behavior results in an asymmetric dynamic, where the balance of giving and receiving is heavily skewed. It feels like walking down a one-way street, where your efforts and concern only flow in one direction, with no return. This pattern not only suggests a lack of consideration but also a deliberate indifference to your needs and feelings. The willingness to choose, therefore, acts as a mirror, reflecting an uncomfortable truth: the person is there only when it benefits them. The relationship becomes like an unbalanced scale, where one party's needs are consistently ignored. Recognizing and confronting this reality is essential. The question arises: are we part of a mutual and enriching relationship, or are we simply a convenience for fulfilling someone else's needs? This situation prompts a re-evaluation of our self-esteem and self-respect, urging us to reconsider our personal boundaries and assess whether genuine reciprocity and respect are foundational elements in the relationship. Number 10. Absence in crucial moments. In a relationship where you are merely a means to an end for someone else, their absence during critical moments in your life is an undeniable indicator. This becomes apparent when they are not present to share in the joy of your achievements or offer solace during tough times. These instances, ranging from celebrating milestones to navigating personal hurdles, necessitate the support and presence of those we hold dear. Picture yourself facing a difficult situation, expecting support and empathy from a friend or partner you consider close. Yet, instead of support, you are met with a void. They are noticeably absent, offering at best superficial comfort or generic, hollow expressions of sympathy. This person often resorts to vague or implausible excuses for their absence, citing busyness with work or other commitments, but never prioritizing you in crucial times. This behavior not only shows a lack of respect for you but also clearly indicates that you are not a priority in their life. Their consistent absence underscores a harsh reality. The relationship is more about individual gain than genuine care. When you need support, they are unavailable, yet when they need something from you, they reappear with various demands and expectations. This transactional dynamic leaves you feeling exploited and underappreciated. Enduring significant moments without their support accentuates the lack of a real and deep connection. Over time, this can erode trust and foster a sense of isolation, even within the relationship. Remember, you deserve genuine love and care, not to be used as a means for others' ends. Everyone merits respect and equitable treatment in their relationships. Recognizing and confronting situations where your needs are sidelined is vital for bolstering your mental well-being. Learning to navigate these challenges is key to cultivating healthy, meaningful relationships based on mutual respect, empathy, and effective communication. Facing those who see us merely as tools for their purposes can be painful, but remember that your value is not defined by how others treat you. It is inherent in your being and reinforced by how you respond to disrespect or neglect. These 10 attitudes highlight not just red flags in relationships but also empower you to stand strong, confront, and exit toxic dynamics. If you find value in this discussion, please like and share this video. Let's foster a community where everyone is equipped to face life's challenges with resilience. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights into building sincere and sustainable relationships.